So this is verse number 80 from chapter 3, which is Al Imran. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ma kana li basharin an yutiyahu Allahu al-kitaba wal hukma wan nubuwwata summa yaqulu lin nasi kunu ibadan li min dunillah walakin kunu rabbaniyina bima kuntum tuallimuna al-kitaba wa bima kuntum tadrusun. Translation is, it is not possible for a man that Allah should give him the book and wisdom and prophethood, and then he should say to men, be servants to me and not to Allah. But he would say, be solely devoted to the Lord because you teach the book and because you study it.
Hazur, could you kindly explain to us why in the order Al-Kitab, Wal-Hukma, Wal-Nabuwa, and the meaning of the expression Kunu Rabbaniyin?
This says, what is the significance of this order, Al-Kitab, Wal-Hukma, Wal-Nabuwata? What's the meaning of Kunu Rabbaniyin?
Al-Kitab makes a prophet who is a lawbearer. But also Al-Kitab can refer to an earlier prophet who was a lawbearer. But every prophet of God must have a kitab to follow. Without that kitab, he cannot be a prophet of God, because that is his code of life. Without a code, he cannot rule the world. It's his constitution. So Al-Kitab had to be mentioned before everything else. Moses was given Al-Kitab. The same Al-Kitab was handed over to Jesus Christ. But also he was given Al-Hikma in addition to Al-Kitab. That is the New Testament, is wisdom. And those prophets who do not bring a new book but follow a previous book, they are always granted some revelations which relate to the hikmah of the book. Like Hazrat Masih Maud alayhi salatu wasalam, who did not bring a new book, but it was impossible for him to be a prophet of God without a book. So the book had already been revealed to Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he was following it. But what was need for his revelations? What was the need for his revelations? Like Jesus Christ was granted Al-Injil, which means glad tidings, and also this contains the word of hikmah. So also Hazrat Masih was granted a book of revelations which did not contain a single item which would cancel the previous teaching or add to it. All that was given to Masih remained within the territory of the Quranic orders and preventions. Deterrents and orders. So this exactly was the case with Jesus Christ, peace be upon him. Not exactly, because the things changed and improved after the coming of Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So exact similarity cannot be quoted. But some major similarities can be referred to, which are common as Muslim and the earlier Masih. But in relation to this verse, the meaning would be Al-Kitab had to be first. Without Al-Kitab, no one can be a prophet. The second is
Wal-Hukma.
Wal-Hukma. So Hukma is the Injil. Or, because Al-Hukma can be translated according to Arabic lexicon, both as authority and a word of wisdom. So when he followed the Kitab, he held the Kitab of Moses tightly in his hand, then he was granted the Hikmah to understand it better. And also the authority which was based on this book. If this book was not granted to him as a guiding principle, he would not hold any authority over the people of Israel. So, Al-Hukmah is understood, it had to come after Al-Book, Al-Kitab. And then Al-Injil, additional things which related to the glad tidings of the future victories, etc., etc., they are given in Al-Injil. So also Hazrat Muslim's Tazkara does not only contain the words of wisdom as far as a better understanding of the Quran is concerned, but it also relates to the future prophecies of glad tidings and victories of Ahmediyya. Now these glad tidings in no way interfere with the previous book. They're over and above them, above the previous teachings. But because they're neither do's, they do not contain either do's or do nots. So, remaining within the book, the Injil had to be granted to Jesus Christ. Because there is a future ahead of Jesus Christ and his followers. What would happen? How would they emerge victorious, and so on and so forth. This is the part of the Nabuwwat which is exercised by all prophets. So the same applies to Muslim of Islam in the new age. Now you follow the order and similarities. Well, thank you. Because of this question we have been able to explain this verse perhaps in a more elaborate way than I ever explained it before. Another thing I must tell you about the prophecy of Muslim, although they are particular about certain things and more detailed accounts are given of what is to happen in future, but none of his prophecies is outside the Quranic prophecies. So it is the beauty of the book that it's so perfect that not even new prophecies could be added to it, which were added by Jesus Christ. In addition to the prophecies of the book, God had bestowed upon him certain things to happen to Israel, or his followers, I should say, not the people of Israel, but his followers. Now this is an exception in case of Muslim Salam, that although he was bestowed with so many prophecies, none of it lies outside the domain of the Quran. And mention any prophecy and I can prove it from the Quran. For instance, like bubonic plague. The verse was already contained in the Quran, about which detailed account was given to the Muslim, but that was a sort of tafsirul Quran. So his ilhamat were of the nature of tafsir, commentary and connotation, not of the nature of a new declaration. Right? Aisha, how did you persuade your husband Momin to accompany you this morning to this class? I think it's a working day, isn't it?
No, he works from 4 to 12:30 in the night.
Huh?
I work in the evening.
Aha. So the mornings are free.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's why I can't come to Urdu class, because then he works.
Yes, I know. So immediately after the class, you both see me, because I want to discuss the health problem of your wife in these critical months. Right? And maybe I'm going to prescribe something for her.
Okay.
Please.